Yeah.
Hey, yo, we are back on the Undisputed GOAT podcast, live from Wisconsin and from Georgia. Not Georgia, Georgia. And I'm back with the panel, man. And look, there's a very, very special episode, man. We know there's a lot of things going on in the NBA, the WNBA, a lot of big trades, but this is the grand finale. It's just like, this is the epitome of knowledge here. Because whenever I want to hear some knowledge overload, kayfabe, storylines, anything like that, forget everything else. Put on that wrestling. In the great words of the late great Ted Turner, put on that wrestling. And for wrestling analysis, I got the best two guys I could possibly find when it comes to wrestling analysis. That being BRF and Flash. Now, as we all know, last night was one of those nights, man. 6 matches on the card, relatively a short card. You know, there was in Saudi Arabia, beautiful town, hell of a crowd, I will say. But look, I think the biggest story from last night has to be Sami Zayn winning the World Heavyweight Championship, man. And look, that was arguably one of the biggest underdog stories that we have seen, because this was his 10th time going at the World Heavyweight Championship. This was his 10th time. Now, the only other person that I could really think of that went at the title, and it was just like he was in an underdog situation, and he was able to come out on top, and not just come out on top, shift the balance of power from W to the WWE, was Mick Foley. So is this Sami Zayn win the biggest underdog win in the WWE since Mick Foley versus The Rock during the Monday Night Wars? Flash, BRF, y'all have the floor.
Flash, I'll let you go first on this one.
I would say yes and no. I think you have to add Rey Mysterio in there when he was in WCW when he first won the heavyweight title. Even as hot as Rey was, he still was massively, undersized as a cruiserweight. That was like kind of unheard. That was unheard of at the time. But I would say storyline wise, yeah. I'd say this is probably the biggest one since Mick Foley. Like, I'm trying to rack my brain of another one.
Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, no.
They stacked their odds against him. It's just like when you really look at it, Daniel, you knew he had talent. But when you look at guys like Mick Foley, when you really look at a lot of other guys, it's like, that doesn't look like the world champion. They'll get close, and they'll get, and then it'll snatch it back away from them. I mean, that's just what that is. It's one of those situations where it's just like, you're close, but
I'd say because of the yes movement, BRF's got a point. But the Foley one was so... I don't think anything will top the Foley one. I don't think anything will ever top the Foley one. You throw in, it's The Rock and McMahon, and then Austin was on an injury, and he comes out of nowhere and comes back. You'll never top that Foley moment, and especially it's during the Monday Night Wars, and you throw in.
You're gonna put a lot of butts in seats.
Yeah. You put Tony Schiavone spoiling it.
Basically shot their company in the foot with a shotgun, pretty much.
Yeah, which is kind of the start of the downfall.
Not shotgun. You ain't lying.
But I think I'd say probably I'd say the biggest since Foley. I'd say I had a feeling this was eventually going to happen. I still think I argue the best time that he could have done it is when he faced Roman.
Yes.
He was in Canada and everything.
I was the one I bitched about it when it happened when they did. Yeah, I didn't even need him to have a long run. But have him beat him. Was it the Royal Rumble? No, where did they?
Elimination Chamber.
Elimination. Have him beat him at Elimination. Have him hold the belt for a couple months. Have him lose it on a SmackDown or whatever or something. I didn't like. I understand that Cody. I get why, because Cody's the eventual one that breaks the streak and finally pins Roman. But that was such a great storyline at the time. There's not a lot of storylines we've had in WWE that have been so emotional and like pulled you in, than that one. So, but I had a feeling this was going to happen eventually, and I'm glad it did.
The reason why I compared it to Mick Foley's is because it's kind of like that bridge storyline. It was just like, if you really look at Sami Zayn when it comes to the world title pictures, there's a lot of bridge storyline that he's been in.
Yes.
Because the thing is, him and Roman Reigns was a big time storyline, but really the headliner of that storyline was Roman and Cody. Yes, Mick Foley and The Rock had their feud, but that was just a build-up feud to him and Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's kind of like, it's kind of like what Jake the Snake Roberts used to do, because he openly said, I used to build people for Hulk Hogan. It's kind of like they used to have these feuds with these other guys so they could just be built up for Hulk Hogan. So, yeah, that's the reason why I compared it to Mick Foley feud, because there's a larger feud that's coming. And that eventually Cody's going to win back the title, or it's going to be something that happens. BRF.
The reason why I am on the side that Roman beating Sami ultimately was the right call at the time was because Sami was not going to go into WrestleMania as undisputed Universal Champion. He wasn't. What's the point of having Sami beat Roman at a PLE like Elimination Chamber if you're just gonna have him lose it on a SmackDown or a Raw anyway?
You're right.
It would have been completely pointless to have Sami win it if you're gonna have him lose it on TV like 2 weeks later. So from that perspective, it was the right call. I mean, you make that match as good as it was, as close as it was, one of the greatest false finishes I've ever seen in a match. But Roman beating Sami was the right call, because Sami would have lost it on TV.
You're right.
And it would have just kind of killed. It would have kind of killed the vibe a little bit.
My wanting that is an emotional response, not a logical.
Yeah. Well, of course, because like if Sami had won it, that would have been like the moment of the year, like easily. It would have been the moment. Yeah, like it would have been absolutely. And honestly, I was kind of hoping for it too, just because the match was so good in itself. And just the storyline. I mean, it was Sami just doing something just out of left field, joining the bloodline, and then becoming one of the hottest things in wrestling with him and Jay and Jimmy and that angle, and then just everything that transpired. Like after Sami hit Roman with the chair at the Royal Rumble, just that storyline was just like that part of the storyline was just
having his kids. And
it was that was a chef's kiss kind of storyline.
Yeah.
as good as that was. I would say it's probably the biggest underdog story since Mick, because nobody was picking Sami to win. nobody was picking. I mean, you were kind of hoping that he would, just to see the WWE do something different and maybe kind of take a risk. But nobody was picking Sami to win this match. If anything, Sami was going to take the pin to protect Gunther, and Cody was just going to roll on to SummerSlam or Saturday night's main event, going into SummerSlam as undisputed champion. So I like this from the WWE's perspective. Like, I like the unpredictability that we kind of got with the entire Night of Champions pay-per-view as a whole, because I know we'll talk about it more, but just focusing on this right here, I like this from a standpoint that it puts the main event scene in like a whole kind of topsy-turvy kind of atmosphere and environment now, because now it's like is it does Oba, because like Oba, like Monday Night Raw, they're advertising now Oba's gonna pick who he faces at SummerSlam, and a lot of people are thinking it's a foregone conclusion that he faces Roman, but I'm like, I presented a theory to you guys.
I was just about to get there. I really need you to cook on this situation, and I'm gonna silence my mic just so I can listen.
Okay, I presented a theory to you fine young gentlemen earlier today. I actually saw this on an IG video, and then when I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? I dig it, and it makes a lot of sense. Because Flash completely is right, feeling the way he feels as far as like we don't need to do Femi versus Roman Reigns yet. We don't need to do that yet. Because honestly, I think it's like people are gonna be mad. I think honestly there are gonna be people that are gonna be mad either way. Because if you give Oba Femi the Roman Reigns win now.
Ugh.
It's like you basically giving them the rocket ship push now, and a lot of people think it's a little too early for that. I do too. I understand why they want to do it, but we see it a lot of times with the hot ticket, getting just rushed really, really, really soon instead of just kind of letting it build a little bit.
Yeah.
And then so I get it from that perspective, but I get why WWE is doing this, because Oba's like. Oba gives you this new kind of larger than life, heavyweight, character that can do it. But he's one of those that can actually do it all in the ring. He's not one of these just lumbering big men that just looks good for the aesthetic, that just look good for the optics, but can't actually do it. He can actually get it done in the ring. But this theory that I presented, that I'm going to present to all of you out there concerning this Oba Femi title match at SummerSlam. What if we go into Monday night and Oba gets ready to pick who he faces, and then one certain Minnesotan was to come back then and not let him pick, and so we get the Oba Brock match SummerSlam at SummerSlam. So we get the Oba Brock match. Now, Saturday night's main event in July is in Madison Square Garden. So you need something that you need something out of nowhere that could really like kind of pop the show a little bit. So let's say Sami's WWE champion. He's riding high. He gets a little cocky with it. He issues an open challenge with the Undisputed WWE Championship on the line at Saturday night's main event. Who else but Brock Lesnar to show up, squash him, win the WWE Championship, and you officially have your night one main event with Oba and Brock for the Undisputed WWE Championship.
And to piggyback off of that, he got put over. Ironically, Brock did at SummerSlam.
By The Rock.
Yes, 2002.
Exactly. How much of a full circle moment it would be
after he won King of the Ring.
Brother, full circle in itself. Brock won the last King of the Ring that gave you a world title shot before they ultimately brought that stipulation back, which is the right stipulation for the King of the Ring tournament, by the way. The SummerSlam title match. The King of the Ring winner getting the SummerSlam title match is one of the best. One of the best, like, kind of goal-oriented storylines that you have in wrestling, bar none. So the full circle of this, for Brock doing that for Oba, the way The Rock did that for Brock would be so full circle and so poetic. And then add to the fact that it's in Minneapolis, Minnesota, which is Brock Lesnar's hometown, and it gives him the perfect moment to actually retire in front of his hometown fans. It would be perfect. I think it makes perfect sense. And then you're not giving away the Oba Roman match too soon, because you could save it. Because WrestleMania 43 for me is 2 matches. It's either Rock Roman.
That's what I was gonna say.
Or it's Oba Roman.
Yeah.
I think Rock Roman is still option number 1.
Yeah.
But if Rock if the Rock schedule wise isn't going to be able to do it, you have Oba win the Rumble and pick Roman.
Yeah,
there you go.
It's still there. I just again, the Brock Lesnar thing isn't finished yet. We're not there yet. This is kind of my point, and I'm glad that they went with the. I know Brock retired at WrestleMania or whatever, but I'm glad they pulled this out, or like pulled this feud into. It's going to be 3 matches. You know, presumably we'll have him and Lesnar at SummerSlam, and it'll be title for a career. That's what I'm guessing. That's what they should do, in my opinion.
I agree with that too. I think title career would be an awesome setting.
It would be. I think I just, again, I don't like it when, and this is why I don't when fans get all mad about, oh my, like when Brock beat Oba and all the people that were all upset about it, and it's like, I'm so glad you assholes don't book, because you have no idea how to build somebody or to allow somebody to actually, like, this is the point that I made weeks ago, is if Oba just literally comes to the main roster and wipes the floor with every major star that they have right now, you're going to run into the Goldberg thing, and he's still undefeated and everything. Like so if you think about it, he literally comes to the main roster, beats, oh, by the way, and then he went one-on-one with Cody. Didn't he was it last year? Or what? Didn't he go?
Saturday night's main event.
Yeah. Doesn't beat Cody, but
beat his ass.
But beat the shit out of him. Okay. Then he comes up to the main roster officially, goes through Brock, goes through everybody else, and goes through Roman. What is left for him to do? People will turn on him a month after he wins the title and go, this is boring. They'll do that anyways, because wrestling fans are fucking annoying. But this a lot, you have Brock win him, because, or you have Brock beat him, and the way they did it with having, I think it was a little excessive, but with the amount of F5s to do it, it worked.
5 F5
or 5 or 7 or whatever.
7. 7. It was 7. Okay,
it was 7.
So you get the undefeated thing out of the way technically, and then on top of it, you allow him to actually earn a win. Like, him chasing the title is going to be more fun than him actually winning it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the thing you want. And then on top of it, it's like, and Cena has said this in an interview. Once you do something and I think Sean said this too, once you do something, that's great. But what do you follow it up with? So let's say he burns through all those guys. What do you follow that up with? You're going to put him against Gunther? Well, he's going to beat Gunther. Like, you can't just have him wipe the floor with everybody and then just go like, oh, well, he's going to lose to Sami, or whoever. That's my point. So you have to at least have him be somewhat beatable. Like, it has to be a possibility. Otherwise, no matches, it's not worth tuning into.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, the Goldberg thing, did it really run into a problem until after he got injured? Because the thing is, it really wasn't a problem until after he got hurt and missed all that time, and then it hurt his momentum a lot.
Yeah. Kevin Nash shouldn't have been the one to end the streak, and I will stand on business on that.
I mean, at the same time, who could have ended the streak? Because at that point, to Flash's point, the Goldberg issue, he had already. The thing is, he beat Sting on a TV.
True.
He beat Sting on the TV.
I would have. No, go ahead. I'll let you.
Giant and squashed him.
Yeah.
Beat Bret Hart. Beat Stevie Ray. Beat Booker T. Beat Scott Hall. Beat Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Okay.
Now what?
Who is the guy that's big enough, fast enough, and strong enough to make you think that this guy can be taken down and popular enough.
I don't think it's necessary. I don't think see that, and that's another thing. I don't think it's necessarily about big enough, bad enough. I don't think it's necessarily big enough, fast enough. I don't think it's none of that. It's just it's gotta. I think for that situation like that, it's got to be who can take an ass whooping from Goldberg, who can get back up, and just y'all might kill me for saying this. I think ultimately it should have been Diamond Dallas Page.
Yeah, but now you have babyface versus babyface, and
You technically had that with Goldberg and Nash because the NWO Wolfpack were babyfaces at the time. Yeah, they were. They were one of the most over acts in the WCW at the time.
Yeah,
just because I had a shirt.
But Nash and Hall were always. They were never full on baby faces.
Anti-heroes. They're dead.
They're always anti-heroes.
Anti-hero to me is a face. They're face to me because
DDP babyface and NWO babyface are completely different. DDP was a babyface, pure and pure. But
here's the thing though. I mean, I get what you're saying that Nash was an anti-hero. I don't look at it like that. I look at what the NWO Wolfpack was at the time, and they were the most overact in the company that wasn't Goldberg. They just were.
So then why?
Because when Goldberg, when they booked that match, and I saw the writing on the wall, and I kind of figured that he was going to book himself to beat him. He was going to book him to beat him, and he was going to book himself to beat him. And I'm just like,
but he has to. Okay, here's the thing that I will agree with you in the aspect that I think DDP would have been the perfect one to deal with it, but I would have wanted a heel turn from Goldberg. Okay, now I'll agree with you on that one. Ultimately, it would have had to gotten to that point, because then it's like you do the Roman thing.
There's nobody left because there's nobody left. It's like it kind of almost kind of like a I think you kind of take a page from like the Mark Henry Hall of Fame book as far as like where's the competition, and it kind of flips a different switch in Goldberg. Then he just starts looking for people, and he just starts taking everybody out, and then he just kind of goes on this psychotic kind of stretch where he just ultimately turns heel. So yeah, I can see that.
Or just people eventually get bored of him.
Yeah,
and they just start booing him.
Yeah, true.
You don't want the X-Pac type of heat.
Nah, God, no, you don't want that X-Pac type of heat.
No, you don't want to go.
And that's a shame he got that type of heat, because X-Pac is one of the more underrated wrestlers in a long time, and it's a shame he got the kind of heat.
I said the same thing.
But his character never evolved.
Maybe if Goldberg did break his hand, he wouldn't have lost all that momentum, even with the loss.
That was what the Sid Vicious thing where he hit the limo.
No, it's not an unpopular opinion. As far as wrestling goes, Goldberg was not that great. It was a whole. He was the Mike Tyson of the WWE. I would say that he was the Mike Tyson of the WWE. It was just like, it was exciting. It was brief, and you knew it was just like, he came out there, pop, pop, and then boom, he was gone. I mean, he was look, I'm gonna just be real.
Goldberg was box office. I mean,
Goldberg
he was box office.
Ultimate Warrior, Goldberg, and there's another guy who just rose to prominence real fast. Not as high as Goldberg and those two guys, and Ahmed Johnson. Those three guys were pushed to the moon quick, and it's just like it was so brief, and it was just so quick, and it was just like, damn, okay.
Ahmed Johnson couldn't cut a promo to save his life.
Huh?
Ahmed Johnson couldn't cut a promo to save his life.
You're going down.
And he from Mississippi, so he already country as it is. And it's just like he couldn't cut a promo to save his life.
I remember the Ahmed Johnson run. I was at the 96 King of the Ring. So after it went off air, I think, or maybe it was at the end when they were setting up, I think SummerSlam. I don't know, whatever it was. I can't think that back now, but because it was Michaels versus Vader, and then you had Cornette's crew come out, and at the time to help Michaels, Ahmed came out, and helped. And originally, it was going to be a 6-man tag of Shawn Michaels, Ahmed Johnson, and the Ultimate Warrior, because Ultimate Warrior was back at that time really hot, and versus Owen Bulldog Vader. And I remember Ahmed Johnson was hot at the time, and I still think that
he was over as hell, in the great words of Stone Cold.
He was
over as hell.
He was.
And if he doesn't get that sickness or whatever, or did he have that, or was that
Them kidneys was
kidney problems? He doesn't. If he doesn't have those kidney problems, I still maintain he has a really good, like at least a 3 to 5 year run.
Yeah.
Regardless of how poor he was in the ring, and his promos weren't like. Okay,
they weren't terrible, but it was like
it was enough for his character.
Yeah,
I remember like the time period.
Yeah,
like, he was in between. It was in between the Attitude and the New Generation era.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it was a little bit in between.
Period, they weren't as bad, but Goldberg. No, there is no opinion. Goldberg was, he was the Ultimate Warrior. He was who was the dude in the UFC, early UFC days, that would come in and he'd fucking knock some dude out, but he was smoking cigarettes and eating cheeseburgers.
Tank Abbott.
He was Tank Abbott. Like you just like
it's so ironic that they had
ultimately comes to WCW and gave Goldberg one of his best feuds.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. You're right. So in that aspect, there you go.
He comes to WCW and gives him one of his best feuds.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know. Hey, man, shout out to Tristan Law. Shout out to Tristan Law, man. Send us your link so we can follow you, guys, because thank you for participating. Because I forgot about that whole Tank Abbott situation.
Yeah. The irony in that, bro. The irony in that, bro.
Yeah, I know. It ties it all together. So
bro, Tank Abbott, bro, that shit was funny as hell. I mean, because the thing was that punch, that was the first thing that reminded me of when they gave the Big Show the punch. I'm like, damn, they took a page out of Tank Abbott.
Totally Tank Abbott. Absolutely. I didn't mind. Like now, remember we're all in. I was in high school when the Attitude Era and Hogan
I was in middle school.
I was in high school, and I remember the Goldberg run, and we can all knock on Goldberg now, but in the moment,
that shit was fire. That was fire.
Having some dude come out that skipped leg day, and literally like breathing in the fireworks smoke and then breathing it out and smashing his face against a locker room, or a locker in the locker room, like. Oh, it was some of the coolest shit I'd ever seen in my life.
Oh shit!
Looking back on the booking,
damn, we got a veteran here, guys.
Yeah, you got a middle school. Am I the old fart? That's all right.
We got a veteron here. What I like to call
the old fart. But
wait a minute. Whoa! Oh no!
What?
What the hell you doing? What you talking about?
I'm watching the Great American Bash.
Oh.
I'm watching NXT. I'm watching the NXT, the Great American Bash, and Tatum Paxley and Zarya are like cooking a full course meal right now in the ring.
Okay.
So I'm at the point where now, like I'm glad. I hope they don't do Oba and Roman. I don't want them to do Oba and Roman. I don't. Again, you need that the way how hot Oba is. That needs to be WrestleMania. And there needs to be a reason why. I don't need Roman, you're next. Like that's just Goldberg shit. That's just Goldberg shit. Roman, you're next.
Bro, he would have had a best if he been to change that sniffing that pyro smoke.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't need. Give me a story. Give me something. Give me a reason why. Like, give me the fact that like Roman clears whoever he's clearing right now, and there's all of his feuds and everything. And we get to like the Royal Rumble, and I don't know something. I'm
going to make sure we subscribe to this guy because he talked about it on his show earlier. So I'm going to make sure I subscribe to it. I don't think
Kristen. Okay. I'm not saying they can't do it. They can't do it. They just shouldn't do it now.
Yeah.
You don't have to do Oba and Roman now. That's my so I need to know why. Why do they need to do it now? If you can give me a really good reason on why it has to be now, I'm all ears. But he hasn't even finished his feud with Lesnar yet.
Yeah, because
unless they're going to finish it at
Survivor Series.
Yeah, because you're finishing that Survivor Series if you do this. Because it's like because you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna get two outcomes, and you're gonna piss somebody off either way. Either Roman's gonna beat Oba, and then you're gonna have those fans mad because it's like we did all this just to bury him and bring him back down, or Oba's gonna beat Roman. Why are they giving this to him now? It's too fast. You're gonna tick somebody off either way.
Let it build.
Okay.
When Cody lost to that's the thing. Like I just don't let it build. Give me a the reason why, even though Sami ended up losing, to Roman, the build up to that was again some of the best storytelling that we've ever seen in wrestling history. So I don't want somebody like Oba to just get a cheap flash in the pan win. Look at Austin and how organic and slow it was fast, but it was slow.
It was very, very slow because the thing is, I'm going to just be real. It's just, when you look back, and I'm sorry to interrupt, Flash.
No, you're good, dude.
But when you look at the gradual push, it was so gradual when it came to Stone Cold. And you could just tell from WrestleMania to WrestleMania. Remember, WrestleMania 12, he was the ringmaster. By the time he got to WrestleMania 13, he was in the main event he was in the double main event with the I Quit match with Bret Hart. Then he was the main event in WrestleMania 14. By the time we get to WrestleMania 15, he's the most overest guy in the damn business at that point. So to your point, yes, it was gradual, but it was a slow build. It was just
feud. This is what I'm saying. Let Oba have a feud with somebody that isn't the champion. Again, let's finish let's have him get a classic. To this day, besides Rock, and I would argue quality match wise, his feud with Bret Hart is his best feud ever.
In terms of match quality, yes.
Oh, absolutely. Not even just. I'm not even. Let's look at it from a bigger perspective. Look at the Attitude Era and the anti-hero turn, and how wrestling was viewed, and how good and bad and baby faces were viewed.
Yeah.
Look at that part of it, not just the overall feud and never. But I'd argue that's some of Bret Hart's. If it's not his best work, it's up there.
I agree with you.
Watching him go from the typical baby face, kiss the babies, blah 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 blah, to
being just a whiny little bitch.
Yeah, but why don't is there?
Sorry about that, but I just had to say that. I believe that was true to his character more than anything.
It is totally. It's like if you look at it, and we watched it play out in real life with Daniel Cormier and John Jones. Cormier, if you look at that feud, and I know I'm kind of sidetracking right now, but if you look at that feud or whatever over the years, Cormier did everything right. Never did any drugs, never got arrested. It was just a pure good, seemed like the good old, and everybody fucking couldn't stand him. Yeah. It's the same thing with Bret. So do you watch that and have that bigger, if you really look at the beginning of the Attitude Era, that's the beginning of the Attitude Era in the WWE, is that feud with Austin and Bret. On top of this is pre-neck injury Austin, who could, I would argue, pre-neck injury Austin, you see it
right back, guys.
is pre-neck injury Austin is a top 5 wrestler ever. Pre-neck injury Austin. He could go toe-to-toe with anybody in the ring, wrestling quality-wise. And I'm not talking about brawling Austin later on. I'm talking about pure wrestling. Go back and watch.
This man was hanging with Ricky Steamboat.
Yes. Go back and watch his matches. There's a match floating around on YouTube between him and Shawn. And it's fuck. The fact that we didn't get healthy Shawn and healthy Austin. Oh. But this is why you don't do Oba and Roman now. I would be okay with not even doing Oba Roman at this next WrestleMania. I'd be fine with it doing the one after. You still have, or it maybe SummerSlam, next year's SummerSlam.
Yeah, I'm about to say I wouldn't. Yeah, I want to say I wouldn't push it too far back. SummerSlam next year might be as long as I would go.
Because you still have, I mean, people can like roll their eyes when I say this. You still have the trilogy to finish with Cody and Roman. Now I know you can run that back at almost any time if you really want to.
Yeah, because I thought we were gonna get. I thought that was a foregone conclusion. We were gonna get that at Crown Jewel. Now I don't know.
Now I don't know either. I actually kind of like. I think people are kind of souring on Cody right now as champion. And it's not just the internet chatter people that are souring. I think SmackDown in general has been kind of, it's had its problems. So I think getting him away from the title for a while is maybe a good thing, right? Think so?
Yeah. No. I agree because I saw like a post on Twitter about this. Shout out to shout out to In the Clutch ENT. I follow them on YouTube. It's one of my favorite pages to go to. But Ross, one of the duo, he actually Cody, like, we associate Cody with the undisputed WWE Championship, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But
no,
I think what I want to see with him now, what people got to realize as far as like being the face of the company, it's not just necessarily you holding on to a title. It's like with Austin, I made this point. Some of the greatest feuds we remember with Stone Cold Steve Austin had not a championship on the line.
No.
And like you brought up the Bret Hart feud, had not a title on the line. That was just two guys that couldn't stand each other. But great wrestling, great chemistry, great build, everything. And even the and even with the WrestleMania 19 feud with The Rock, when you kind of had a feeling it was going to be his last true wrestle match, the build for that was almost as good, if not better, than the two matches with the title on the line, just because of what it meant as far as like the historic purposes and everything about that. His feuds with Triple H that didn't have a title on the line. That No Way Out 2001 feud, that 3 stages of hell match. I mean,
before even Michaels and Austin fought, their feud when they end up winning the title, the tag title,
when they won the tag team titles,
that was fun to watch. Like
I'm ready. I'm ready for a non-title Cody Rhodes run. I haven't soured on him as champion because I think he's been a damn good champion.
I think yes too.
But I think he's been a really good champion. But I think it's not me being sour as him as champion. Now it's like, okay, they took the risk. They pulled the rabbit out the hat. Sami Zayn's undisputed WWE champion. You don't have a title. We don't know when you're going to come back to it right now, because if they're going to pull something like this unpredictable, I doubt you're getting the title back anytime soon. So what do we do to keep you afloat, to keep your name out there, but yes, establish you now, still being one of the faces of the company? What do we do with you now? I want to see some really good non-title feuds as far as like, I don't like you, you don't like me, I'm the best. No, I'm the best. All right, let's do it.
He's got two hanging out there that he can do without the title, and that's Punk and Orton.
Yes, I'm leaning that it's depending on who's come back. I'm leaning it's going to be Punk, and it wouldn't shock me at all. I said this. It would not shock me at all if they brought CM Punk back as a heel. I don't think they should. It just wouldn't shock me.
No, I don't think they do that. I think they bring Punk back as Punk, and Punk is Mr. He's a baby face, but again, I classify him as a baby face that will do heel things. I think, and you could do this with Orton too, depending on how you brought Orton back. But I think what you do is, because we've wanted the Cody heel turn for so long. I'm not saying you turn Cody heel, But I think you basically take someone like CM Punk, who can poke the bear better than anybody in promos in general, and you could poke Cody with Punk to really close to, in a way better way than the Cena thing did.
Yeah.
Like where you're really poking the bear and getting him to like, does he go the Homelander type? Like that's, I think, his next story is, altruistic Cody, does that get messed with? And I think on a deeper level, I think you can do that with Punk. I think you can do it with Orton, but I think Punk's so much better on the mic.
Yes.
And able to goat people way better. Like he'll go to places that most wrestlers won't. And if that's the story they're going to tell, I think they're going to bring Punk back. But I don't think it'll be Punk as a heel, because I the problem with Cody right now is I don't know how you bring Punk back as a full-fledged heel against Cody, because
he would get cheered. They would cheer him.
Yeah, they're going to cheer him. So it won't be a classic bring him back as a heel. It'll bring him back as like, you need to give depth to Cody's character right now, because there's no depth. It's just kind of
it's WWE Championship or buzz.
Yeah, it's just championship or bust right now. So what do you do without the title? Like, and that's the thing. It's like that's why I don't want to make Oba bring the conversation back to Oba. I don't want to make Oba just about the title. That's it.
Right.
And that's why you don't do it right now. You don't do it. You save it.
I agree with that.
Have him win the Rumble. Have him do things. Have him, and that's the thing. That's why I kind of hope it's not Brock versus him for the title at SummerSlam. I don't even want the title on him.
I don't know, man. I just feel like Sami Zayn. I just feel like it has that type of edge to it with Sami Zayn winning the WWE Championship.
It does. I think you're right. I just don't like it. I just don't like. I don't either. Unless
because
you do something like, unless they do something messed up, not messed up, but something like Oba versus Roman title for title.
I don't want that.
I don't either. I just don't. I don't like Oba having the title already. I just don't at all. But I don't think this company roster wise. One champion, one main title. Not as stacked as this roster is right now. The thing that I'm kind of looking at with it right now is like, I just don't know. I can see them going to, although maybe I'm reading this wrong, because Brock wouldn't. I don't think Brock would give a shit. It was, we'll give you one more title run.
Nah,
come back after the WrestleMania. I don't think he really gives a shit about.
I don't think he cares.
I don't know. I'm really curious at how they do this, because I can't see Oba picking Roman right now, even though he is. It does make sense a little bit because he just came off the Jay thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they do fast track this,
because and the reason why it's a high possibility is the teasing after WrestleMania with them basically calling each other out.
I know.
So it's kind of like they just might do this.
So then, what do you do with Sami? Do you let Sami and because I don't want to.
I think Sami and Cody's the call for SummerSlam if you do that. I think so. Yeah, I do, and I think Sami. But I honestly do think Sami beats him.
To legitimize his
to legitimize the win. I think Sami beats him.
Because you give him a win at a major pay-per-view.
You give him a win at the second biggest show of the year to legitimize the championship, and then you just have Cody kind of there's honestly four possibilities you have with Cody for SummerSlam.
Well, do you have
Punk? There's Punk. There's Orton. There's Gunther, and there's Sami.
But then, do you have Punk come back at SummerSlam and interfere?
They're already saying Punk's coming back to Chicago SmackDown.
See, I think that's now. This is the way I think, and I book. I wouldn't bring him back in Chicago. They've already done it multiple times where he comes back in Chicago. I get it's Chicago, but I wouldn't. I'd bring him back at SummerSlam.
I would too, honestly.
I bring him back at SummerSlam. You're only a month and a week away.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think you could hold off another month until SummerSlam.
Yeah, hold off another month. Have him interfere in the if you still want to do Sami at SummerSlam and Cody, have him interfere in that somehow.
I don't even think you have to have him interfere. I think you just let him have a straight up match and then have him come out after the match and have him call a shot.
Or whatever. It's something. Whatever it may be. You can come out and say, like, after Sami beats Cody, you just have him come out and have Punk just poke the bear.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I there's a lot of different ways that they could do this, and I'm not really comfortable with any of them. All right, well let's move on from the over thing.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right? I want to go to Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. I think they are two of the most controversial prospects wrestlers right now that they have.
I agree.
Because of stuff we hear about behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I can honestly say that was the worst match of the night.
Yeah, let's see that. Yeah.
And I don't know what to do with either of them. I like Tiff. I like Jade's look.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jade's gotten a little bit better, but Tiffany Stratton seems checked out, and Jade just can't seem to just get.
I think Jade's gotten a little more than a little better. I give her a little more credit than that. She's gotten a little bit more than a little better.
Okay.
I'll give her a little bit more than that, because Jade's been. I give it to Jade. Like, she's been, regardless of opponent as of late, she's done some good quality work. Like, she's kind of, instead of trying to be like this athletic, instead of trying to be like another Bianca Belair, she's being a Jade Cargill, and she's wrestling and she's wrestling more of a big, honestly, like she should. And I think kind of like what Raquel Rodriguez is doing. She's wrestling like a big, and she's looking, and that's why Raquel Rodriguez has been looking so good as of late, because she's wrestling more true style to herself. And I think that's what Jay's been doing a little bit more as of late, which is why I think the heel turn was necessary for her. So now she can wrestle more grounded, a style that I feel like fits her more, and I think she's looked a lot better because of it. I think it's either, I would say the worst match is either this one or Trick and Ricky. But honestly though, none of the matches were bad in my opinion. None of the matches were bad, which is what I like to see from like a 6-card PLE event like Night of Champions, like the Triple H style.
This is actually one of the better pay-per-views of the year.
Oh yeah, this might.
In fact, the last two they've kind of done really well. Like
between what is it? What was it? Clash in Paris and Clash in Italy and this one Night of Champions. Oh yeah, they cook.
Yeah,
I would probably say. I still think WrestleMania Sunday is PLE of the year, but this is probably like 2 and 3.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think they're starting to kind of find their footing again after but I still think that the TKO shit just needs to get out of the way.
I wish they do. They need to, because this is what people are forgetting. Like, before this whole TKO thing was happening, when Triple H is actually allowed to do his thing, we've seen what the PLEs are. They cook. They almost always cook. They're almost always good. They need to quit trying to tell him what to do and let that man do his thing. So I think we're starting, and I definitely agree with you that we've seen that especially with the last two. Honestly, you get to kind of throw Backlash in that as well. Like, I think really after WrestleMania, they've been kind of hitting their footing. Backlash was good, and definitely Clash in Italy and Night of Champions were both really, really good. So I don't know. I think Jade and Charlotte at SummerSlam is foregone conclusion. I think it's happening.
Yeah, I mean that was one we've all kind of like saw that kind of on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Is there finally the Alexa Bliss Charlotte split and Alexa? I think Alexa's the one that has to go heel.
Sorry about that, guys.
No, you straight, brother. I don't think it's time for that yet, though.
Okay.
I don't think it's time for that yet. I mean, I can kind of see where it may start to build, but honestly, you've done nothing. You ain't really shown no signs of like, oh my God, could they split?
Yeah, that's true.
You got to have some problems first. You got to have a bad match or a screaming match. Yeah. You tried to, you smoked my cigar when I didn't tell you to.
Yeah,
you cheating in checkers, you cheating in card.
Yeah, like with the
why you like that? Damn it!
Like with the Bailey Lyra Valkyria thing. That was great. I am ready. I am ready for heel Lyra, boy.
I'm ready
for it.
I always said that I just was never.
And you have said it.
She was too fucking smiley. She was literally what's his
feathers.
Face? What? Yeah, feathers. Oh my God, feathers! I'm gonna come on.
I think it's time for heel Lyra. I think that was the right call. That was the right call.
She was fucking feathers. She was basically Bobby Lashley. Just wouldn't stop.
The greatest thing Bobby Lashley could have did was go heel too.
Business.
Yeah. The greatest thing Bobby Lashley did of his career was go heel.
Yeah, I am excited for evil feathers. I am all down for feathers. I am so well done. I love the way it was pulled off. It's the women's division in general. This is why I kind of brought up Jade and Tiffany. They're really in a weird spot right now because the best thing they have going right now is Liv. Until the Lyra thing happened, like Liv was really their only, like, am I right? Entertaining, like.
No, you still got Rhea. You still have Rhea.
Dude, she's so boring,
bro. She puts on matches with the best of it too.
Rhea.
I get what you're saying with Liv. I get what you're saying with Liv. But when we're talking about sheer just how good are your matches, Rhea is.
I know, but she's just boring to me. I need something. And you can tell in the way they book her right now. They don't know what to do with her. Like what is she really doing right now?
Well, what I mean, I get what you're saying with that, but I mean, they literally had Liv in the Queen of the Ring tournament.
I know, that's what I'm saying though.
Like, if it wasn't for her being in there, to Flash's point, would it have been as fucking interesting?
The tournament's pointless. The tournament's pointless to me.
I mean, I'm just being real. You have the WWE champion.
You have the women's world champion in a tournament.
And the Queen of the Ring. So that's a problem within itself when you got to put your top person in the damn thing. Yeah. That's the problem.
You put her in the tournament. She gets all the way to the finals. Io beats her and then says, "Yeah, I'm fighting you at SummerSlam." That tournament's completely rendered pointless.
Well, which is why Liv should have won it. It's more interesting if she wins it.
But I don't want a unified women's champion though.
No, I don't either. But
I think the most interesting story would have been. I think personally the most interesting story, if you're gonna let Io win, let Io go Rhea. Rhea still hasn't beaten her yet.
Oh yeah, that one. Oh, but that's a WrestleMania one.
Yeah.
I mean, even though it's summer, but you're right. I think that you're absolutely 100%. That's Rhea's end game. That will be the moment when I like her character again because it provides her some depth. It gives her something. Instead of
I thought she was gonna go heel then when it was like she just couldn't be Io to save her life. I thought she was about to go heel then.
If you really look at her character overall, Rhea, she's kind of the reason why I think she's boring is like her character at first, she was mommy, and that was all based off of fucking Dominic. And then after that, she was Rhea title. She was Charlotte Flair, but it dressed up in goth form. I'm all about the title, and that was it. So like I just need to see. Give me something.
Yeah, her identity has been wrapped up in so many things that we just really couldn't. Yeah.
Like right now, out of all the women in the women's division that I think could survive without the title, ironically, is the one that they have with the title, which is Liv.
Yeah.
Liv is fire on TV, whether you like her or not.
The Harley Quinn of the WWE.
She is fire. She is not as good as what Alexa Bliss was when Alexa Bliss was like cooking pre-pregnancy, but she's damn close. But she's damn close. Like anytime she walks on the TV screen, whether you love her or hate her, everybody's eyeballs are on her. She's so engaging with the camera. She is fantastic. Yeah. There's a reason why they have her on all the time. It's not because she's pretty and blonde. I mean, it's part of it, but like
that's about 50% of it because it's hard.
I mean,
I'm not. Hey, look, when I love Jade Cargill to life. But when Liv is on that damn TV screen, I'm glued to the damn TV. I'm gorilla glued to that damn screen.
And the leaps and bounds and improvement that she's made in the ring over these past couple of years too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the fact that she can go out there now and cook in these matches with just about anybody now just speaks to her work ethic and how much better she's gotten.
Oh, and the promos she cuts.
And the promo, and like, she's actually gotten better with the promos too. So
she has just been she's been fantastic, and I saw it back when she came back from her with her revenge tour, and I had an old friend, and me and him would argue back. I'm like, dude, she will be the best thing in the women's division in the next year or two, and she has been. I was at SummerSlam in Cleveland when it was her and Rhea, and I kept telling my buddy, I'm like, dude, it's not full Rhea. It's not the crowd is not. I'm like you're not listening. And I went to SummerSlam and that crowd was 50-50. They love Liv. The crowd, she is so just even heel Liv. She's just I can't explain it. Like when Dominic turned on Rhea, half the crowd wanted it. Because it was such a good story. Like it was evil and wrong, but it was such a well done story. It was so great. It was built up for months and months and months and months. And like the stuff that she would do and he would do, it was just great. It was fantastic. I don't know. I'm all for it. But right now, I think the problem with the women's division is like besides Liv, they just don't know what to do with anybody. I like the they're
real top heavy too. They're top heavy.
A little bit.
I mean,
and then
everybody has superstar potential in that damn division.
And I also think I think the one that's suffering for the lack of like house shows right now, the division wise, is the women's division. Everything looks so choreographed right now. Like I watched even the Liv Io Sky match, like before they got really going in the match, everything's so like flippity do and choreographed and like they're not full speed. And I think right now they're suffering the most from the dark. It's hard to watch some matches right now in general because of the lack of practice time. I think that's as much as Liv can go, and Io Sky's if arguably Io Sky right now is the best pure wrestler in the women's any women's division in the world right now. Something's not right. And I think the women's and the funny is they have so much talent, or like more talent than they've ever had in the women's division ever. And they're loaded down in NXT too. I mean, like you look at it, Solruka right now, like one, she needs to get rid of that finisher. It needs to go. I shouldn't say it needs to go. It needs to be we talked about this one show. It needs to be like a break glass in case of emergency finisher. It's too hard to pull off. Consistent.
Like Stone Cold using the $1 Million Dream.
It just it's not even like it just doesn't. It's too hard to pull off, and if you don't have a lot of practice time to do it,
it's like AJ Styles pulling the spiral tap.
Yes, you just do again emergency break glass.
In case of emergency,
break glass. That move will go over if you do it 3 times a year, 4 times a year. Like, just do it, or like when you pull it out to like finally fit. Like, if her and Rhea ever get in a feud, like to finish off Rhea, gets this Jinder Mahal moment.
Don't you do that to Sami Zayn?
Yeah,
Don't
dude,
you do that? No,
I did not look,
Don't
man.
you-
I
don't
know
you
this is
do that
way
to Sami
off
Zayn.
subject, but I did not know that
That he
Sami
was Syrian.
Muslim.
That he was Syrian.
Yeah, I didn't know he was Muslim.
I thought he was Jewish.
No,
I thought he was. I just thought he was a Canadian because he was from Canada. I'm like,
no, he's a Syrian Muslim.
Yeah,
I really didn't know that. I thought he came out there that with all that shit on. I'm like, what the hell you doing with that?
He's. I mean, I'll just say it for what he's white presenting, but he's a Syrian Muslim.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay, so he in whiteface.
He's white passing, but he's a Syrian Muslim.
So
He's
he's
just
a
white
Muslim.
I didn't know that. It was funny. I
mean, I ain't trying to be offensive, but it's the rarity that you see a white Muslim is just crazy.
I wouldn't have guessed him. I wouldn't have guessed a redhead guy like him would be a Syrian Muslim, but he is.
No, I thought he was Jewish. No joke. Because I remember when I wasn't watching the wrestling as much, like there were issues when they started to go overseas or whatever or something like that, or I can't remember. And then I had an old friend tell I thought he was Jewish, but well, whatever. It doesn't matter. I love the Sami moment again.
The match was awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, you had the caption up for match of the night. Seth Braun. Good God.
Yeah.
That match was,
the people that are crying that they buried Braun Breaker.
They did not bury Braun Breaker.
That's the best match he's had since he's been on the main roster.
If anything, you just showed the world we got a future monster babyface on our hands. Is what you just showed everybody.
And on top of it, like this feud isn't done. They'll roll it back a little. Like just calm down, everybody.
I mean, the teacher versus student.
What?
It's gonna roll back because eventually the student is going to become this mega damn star, and then here comes the teacher to reel it back in. It's kind of like with Triple H, and it's kind of like they're telling basically the same story that they told with Triple H and
Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. And then
Triple H and Shawn Michaels, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Just give it time. This isn't going to – I get sometimes why everybody gets like kind of fearful of burying new talent because of the shit that we watch with Bray Wyatt and John Cena. And how like they basically buried Bray Wyatt, and it never really. Don't get me wrong, he got back up on his feet like momentum wise, but fuck, dude, that killed it. Like I get why people, but this is a different. This isn't fucking Vince in charge. They're not gonna bury Braun the way they did the match. It was well done where he doesn't look weak. You know, like everybody calm down. Like.
It took a middle rope stomp to beat him.
Yes, exactly.
Y'all need to calm down. It took a middle rope stomp for Seth Rollins to beat him.
Yes.
That y'all just don't understand what that match did for Braun. You just established you know he's gonna be a mega star when that time comes. You just established him big time. They just don't know.
And they just don't know. Sometimes like losses are bigger for careers than wins. I know that
depending on how you do it.
It depends on how you do it. Look at Shawn Michaels' career. Some of his best matches, most of his best matches
are losses.
Yeah,
Kurt Angle being a prime example.
Yeah, WrestleMania 21 with Kurt.
Yep.
Let's see, WrestleMania 21 with Kurt. The Armageddon 3 Stages of Hell with Triple H. The Bad Blood Hell in a Cell with Triple H. The matches with Undertaker. The matches with Undertaker.
Yeah,
like
just like everybody. Like look at Austin. One of his best matches ever is him.
He lost to Bret Hart in a submission match.
That did more for his career than almost any other win. So like again, this is why this is why to Triple H's point when he took over that he wants long-term storytelling and storytelling in general. The reason why all those things mean so much more in the losses than they do in the wins is because how the story was told. Like go back and look at I already talked about Austin Bret Hart, but look at Michaels and Undertaker and the lead up to the second one. Like and Michaels going unhinged psycho because he couldn't get a match with Taker. Like it, and it would. Look, I'll fully admit, Michaels was a complete a-hole backstage. Don't get me wrong, but fuck, man, like there's a reason why he's my GOAT. Like, because just look at the story. So let this Braun thing play out. Plus, I needed to see him in a match where he can just go instead of just being spear heavy. I don't need another. Again, I've seen this before. I don't need another fucking Goldberg. Give me something more. I don't need you barking and throwing spears. Like, that's cool and all, but give me more. You know, make me tune in. I'm 44 years fucking old. I already saw the barking and the spears. I don't need it anymore. Give me something more. Give me something. And I love what they did. I think it's great.
The spot that him taking that suplex off the cage. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Let him go.
Seth and Braun for me was the clear match of the night. And for all of y'all that like want to like crap on Seth Rollins' name, I got into a debate with someone on IG because it was at the time when the King of the Ring tournament was starting, and I legit thought Seth Rollins was going to win it, and they were going to do Roman and Seth at SummerSlam, and we kind of I got into this debate with this guy, and he keeps talking about Roman and all these accolades and all this other stuff, and I'm sitting here explaining to him like how the storyline would go if Seth Rollins were to win the King of the Ring, and it's Seth and Roman at SummerSlam, because Seth is the one guy, Roman is just like if there's a crit, like every big time superstar has like a kayfabe, like kryptonite, just can't get over the hump. For Roman Reigns is Seth Rollins, because they've had 2 PLE or 2 televised world title matches. Roman can't beat him. And I'm sitting here explaining the storyline. Seth is going to get in his head the entire time until SummerSlam, where Roman's finally going to get the win. But Seth is going to like play him like a fiddle the entire time, because that's what he does. We got to put respect on this man's name and how good he has been over his career.
Seth is the closest thing we've had to Shawn Michaels since Shawn retired.
Yes.
Yes.
I
have said it before. He is Macho Man Randy Savage 2.0. But with Michael's ability on the mic, and Michael's probably like, don't get me wrong, like young Macho Man was really athletic, but like Michael's was prime Michael's was on another level athleticism wise. So like you take Macho Man and Michaels and have a baby, that's Seth Rollins.
That's Seth Rollins.
That's Seth Rollins.
That's a perfect analogy too.
Yeah, like he is the flair, like you need to appreciate how good Seth really is.
Mm-hmm. But because the man is touching 40 now. The man is touching 40 himself as well, and still being able to put out bangers like this. I mean, come on, man.
The whole reason that the Shield thing and the Fallout worked, they picked the right guy to go heel, because everybody thought it was going to be Moxley, and it wasn't. And I don't think it works if it's Moxley.
It doesn't work as well if it's Ambrose.
It still works. Okay.
It don't work. It does. Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't have this level.
No, and if you look at some of the stuff that Seth's done over his career, some of the best moments, like I do his. Just look at his 2 cash-ins.
Mm-hmm.
The robbery of the century,
and then the heist of the heist of the century, and then the heist of the summer.
Yeah.
Like
it's fucking
folks,
beautiful.
People got to we here to remind y'all again to put some respect on Seth Rollins' name. This man is if you he is.
That's it. That's the other reason why I don't do Oba and Roman. Yeah, you still have that story to tell too.
Mm-hmm. You still you got to get that Roman and Seth story out there where Roman finally beats him in a championship match.
Yeah,
you have to tell that story.
Yeah, that one has to be.
That's got to be for the championship. You have to tell that story at some point.
Yes.
Whether it's like, I mean, whether you do it at Survivor Series or whether you just hold off and save it for the Rumble, Roman has to beat him with the title on the line. He has to. You have to tell that story.
Yes, 100% agree. Yep.
Who's the biggest loser from last night?
Liv Morgan, she's cursed now.
Can I be completely honest with you though?
Sure.
I don't think there's really like a true loser after last night. Because I mean, the closest things you have to a possible loser would be either Tiffany or Jade. But honestly, I think they're just in limbo. I don't think it's necessarily like they're a loser. They're just in limbo.
They are where they're supposed to be.
They're where they're supposed to be. And I mean, Jade, yeah, she lost, but I'm seriously thinking they're gonna go the Charlotte Flair route with her at SummerSlam. I think all because Charlotte keeps interfering in matches. So yeah. I think that match is too big for Saturday night's main event. I think they save it for SummerSlam. And Tiffany is just she's women's United States champion. So I think with the Women's United States Championship, I think with Julia being revitalized, finally utilizing Blake Monroe, now you got some meat on the bone in the mid card women's division. Now you got some meat on the bone. Now you got some. Now you getting some women in that mid card division with some stories to tell. So Tiffany might be back up on the up and up. So now she's got comb for the Women's U.S. Championship now. So we might actually get somewhere with that belt now. Hopefully we get somewhere with that belt. You want to talk about an unutilized championship? The Women's United States Championship? Ugh. Frustrating what they do with that championship. It's frustrating.
I'm not going to lie, bro. I love that belt when it was in the hands of Legs Green. When Legs Green had the Chelsea Green. I call her Legs Green.
Oh,
when Legs Green had the damn title and she had the cabinet, it was a lot better.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this about Chelsea. I'm gonna say this about Chelsea Green real quick, boy. I don't think WWE realized what they have in the babyface Chelsea Green, bro.
I think they do. Well, I don't know. That's a good question because
I don't think they fully realize
how good she is.
How good she is.
Well,
how good she is, and how much the fans really love her.
Well, I don't get it. Like you saw the argument between Taker and Michael Hayes on Taker's podcast. Not like when Hayes came out and said that she's just that person that puts people over.
No, I think you can put a world championship on Chelsea Green.
Oh, 100%.
You can put a world championship
and it's not like a Sami Zayn championship. Like she could carry the women's division.
She could carry. She like go back to like her TNA days when she was Laurel Von Ness. Yes, yeah. I'm taking it back. Go back to her TNA days, her Lucha Underground days. That girl can really go when you ask her to go.
The other thing too is that, and this is on top of this is partially personal experience, but having to meet her, getting to meet her, she would be a fantastic ambassador. She already is a fantastic ambassador for the whole the company. She has been. She still is. You see a lot of her interactions with the fans online.
She would be a great ambassador as holding one of those world championships.
Yes, she would. And she, again, she is one of the. It wasn't when I took Willow to SummerSlam in Cleveland. We knew she was going to be there, but we didn't. She wasn't the one. Like we were there for Cody because Willow loves Cody Rhodes.
You probably had one of the best experiences with her.
Oh, Willow to this day still calls Chelsea Green like one of her best friends. Like
that's what I'm talking about.
Like I no joke, she would not leave Chelsea alone. Like it was, I've never. It was. I can't describe. Like I have pictures of her and Chelsea. Just, I mean, they were like inseparable the whole time. Like she was just like attached to Chelsea's hip the whole event, and it was one of those.
And shout out to Matt Cardona, you lucky dog.
No shit, dude. Yeah, no shit. Like, but that's the thing. There's so much talent right now in the women's division. It's like, I kind of like what they're doing with Chelsea right now and Tiff. I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it because I think putting them together is very similar to Charlotte and Alexa. I think that Chelsea will bring the best out in Tiffany.
From a character work perspective, absolutely.
That's what my point is. Like,
yes.
You know how Alexa has brought the best out in Charlotte.
Yes, because Yeah, because there was a point. Yeah, because there was a point where people barely wanted to see Charlotte on TV. Now
Yeah.
it's like now like Charlotte's like one of the most over acts in the WWE.
Yes, which by the way, people that don't that hate the booking and all that kind of stuff, like look at just a small decision like that of putting Alexa Bliss like with Charlotte, and you completely fix Charlotte's career with one choice.
Yep.
One choice. Something as simple as putting her with Alexa Bliss. That's it. And letting Alexa Bliss be Alexa Bliss.
Yep.
Because she's fantastic. She just is. That's the thing. We have Alexa Bliss, who, I mean, don't get me wrong. I know she's fine doing what she's doing because she loves being a mom and wants to be there for, her kid, like her daughter and everything. And I'm 100%. We got that lurking in the background where, like, if they ever just said, like, hey, Alexa, go, they let her. I mean,
they turn her loose one more good time.
Yeah, they just turn her loose one more time. Just be like, all right, Alexa, we're kind of, we need a little bit more, whatever. And she's, yeah. I will say I'm excited for the Alexa Bliss Charlotte feud because that's when they'll let her go. That's when they'll let her go. Is when that team finally breaks up and Alexa turns heel. Ooh, I got a question. Who would turn heel?
I think at this point Alexa would, because I think they're doing more with Charlotte as far as like the singles side of things.
I
as
know.
far as like being in the queen of the ring, getting tight, having championship opportunities like that. I mean, Alexa was in it too. I know. I don't know. I feel like
is Alexa still going to get that? Problem is will Alexa get cheered regardless?
Alexa's going to get cheered no matter what.
That's the problem.
She's going to get, but I think with me as fans, or like, I think it's kind of like one of those things is like, man, we're actually starting to see like an open up Charlotte Flair, and I'm appreciating this Charlotte Flair. We got to boo her again. I think a lot of fans will kind of feel like that. I'm just now starting to appreciate this side of Charlotte. I got to boo her again now.
Yeah.
And I don't think the fans want to do that right now with her. I for the first time in a long time, I don't think the fans want to boo Charlotte Flair right now. And that's correct. And I never thought I'd say that, but I don't think they want to boo her. It's like, man, it's like, man, we got to do this again. We got to go through this again. Like,
yeah. It would be kind of nice to see Charlotte in a babyface role.
I want this Charlotte by herself in a babyface role. I kind of with just with her character development, how she's got some depth to her now, where she's got that outside of being a world championship, she's got that depth to her now, and then the whole thing with that little girl that's fighting the illness that she just talks about all the time, that helped design her gear at War Games, and she has that connection with her. Just so much depth, so much more depth to her character now outside of wrestling is like,
yeah,
you can root for her now.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Who got the? Okay, we already went over the match of the night. Last question because I know y'all cooked the entire time I had my little emergency, but got one question. Y'all might have covered it, but I'm not for certain. Is it time for the American Nightmare to become a true nightmare? 30 seconds.
Nah, not yet. Not yet. We did talk about it a little bit. I think it's time. We're both ready for like non-championship Cody Rhodes now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's time to poke the bear a little bit, but not unleash the bear.
Yeah.
I think we need, I talked about bringing Punk back and having them two go at it and having Punk goad him. And not having Punk be the heel, by the way, because you can't turn Punk heel at this point. Like he's that's the problem. He's like Alexa Bliss. He's too beloved right now. He's too beloved. There are certain guys that will never get booed. And he's one of them. So he'll never be a full heel with that. So but he will be the guy and Cody's the guy that people will boo. He's the new. He's a new Cena. So
every era has to have their Hulk Hogan or their undisputed babyface. And when you try to turn them heel too quick because the crowd wants them to, it never fucking works.
No, and I don't want that either.
Exactly. Like going back to Austin real quick. You brought up Austin. Like he's even said it himself. If he can go back and do WrestleMania 17 over again, the match would have played out exactly like it did. But I would have stunned Vince McMahon at the end. I would have called an audible. I would have stunned him.
Yeah,
because he didn't realize how much the fans still loved that character because he thought it was getting stale. And I think the ovation he got at WrestleMania 17, the way the crowd was in that match, he's probably feeling like, damn, I shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, because you can't because the problem with that ending is that it's not that he cheated. It's the fact that he aligned himself with McMahon.
With Vince McMahon.
With Vince McMahon.
That's it. That's the only thing. If he stuns McMahon at the end, I think everybody's fine with it.
Yeah, because that's Austin being Austin. I mean, it was a no disqualification match anyway.
Yeah.
Austin always wrestles with that do whatever it takes to win mentality. So I mean, that wasn't the surprising part. It was shaking hands with Vince.
Yeah.
I think I probably would have done it too. I probably would have called an audible and stunned him.
They should have. I remember watching that live and with some friends, and we were both kind of like, we were expecting the stunner. Like we were expecting to stun him, and he didn't. And I remember we were just kind of like it just. I think they were worried about the Hogan thing happening, where Hogan got stale, and they tried to capitalize on, how well the Hogan heel turn went, and not knowing it wasn't earned yet.
It wasn't earned.
The Hogan thing was earned.
Yeah, because his character had gotten completely stale. He earned the right to turn heel.
And then he moved to a completely different territory.
Right.
I mean, the territory, the fact that you were a WWE guy with strong WWE ties, and then you go down to a Southern territory, is like, and then they're booing you out of the building.
Yes.
At a certain point.
Yes.
And they don't realize Hulk Hogan had switched up his costumes a few times in WCW, even before he turned heel. Remember, there was a match between him and Sting where, he faked like he was going to come out, and he had, these tights, very, very long tights in black and white that said Giant Killer, and he had a little mask on and what have you. So, that it was a few times where he kind of teased it, but you just really didn't know. But I'll never forget that match. I'll never forget Steve McMichael, God rest his soul. He was, he was on there because it was a big match right before the pay-per-view World War III, which is just the Royal Rumble on steroids.
Yeah, 60 men.
60 men in three
rings.
Yeah, and like I said, it's just a Royal Rumble on steroids.
And that's the thing with the Austin. It just like the other thing too is the Austin's like heel turn. The reason why the Hogan heel turn also works is because Hogan was essentially Superman. Superman doesn't go evil.
Yeah.
So.
And you just knew he was coming to save the day.
Yes.
You just knew he was coming to save the day. You can tell it. And God rest his soul, Dusty Rhodes, he put it, who's bad now, boy? Because you just knew it was just.
And that's the thing. Go ahead.
No, I was just getting ready to say, and having two catalysts like a young Kevin Nash and Scott Hall still at the time were the perfect, almost like conductors to make that work.
Oh yeah,
everything just flowed together to make that work.
And to Champ's point when talking about the WWE guy coming down to Southern Territory, it's the old WWE guy siding with the incoming WWE guys.
Yeah.
It's the reason why when the Sting thing didn't happen and Hogan finally got on board, if it was Sting, it wouldn't have worked as well as it did. It wouldn't have. Because even though that wrestling is quote unquote like fake or predetermined, the story doesn't work unless all three guys are original WWE guys.
Yeah, they couldn't have had Sting in there.
No, or where they're made. I understand that Scott Hall and Kevin Nash were originally in WCW. I get that, but I'm talking about when they were made.
Yeah, when they were made, it was Diesel and Razor Ramon.
Yeah. Did nobody give a damn about?
We didn't care. We didn't care about Oz and Vinny Vegas.
No.
And we didn't care about
nobody give a damn about Oz.
And we didn't give a damn about the Diamond Stud. We didn't care about none
Nope.
of that. It was Diesel and Razor Ramon.
Yes. So I'm
I never forget when he took off that damn turban.
Yeah. And that's that. So when you have something like that, it was you. There are moments in history where something happens, and it's perfectly at the right time with the right people, and it's like again, that was the right time with the right people, and y'all can hate on Hogan, God rest his soul, all you want, but at the end of the day, the man fucking knew what the man knew what drew most of the time.
He knew what drew, and I mean the NWO is the most influential, in my opinion, is the most I think it's the most influential faction that has ever been created. And I get the Four Horsemen is like the OGs, but I think the NWO are like, oh my god,
wrestling as a whole.
They pretty much
saved wrestling.
They saved wrestling. Yeah, they saved wrestling as a whole, and just like. Bro, like, man.
So I gotta say this before we close up. Isn't it ironic that the biggest heel turn in wrestling and Austin 316 all happened in the same month? The biggest two events that shaped wrestling, that made wrestling cool again, happened within the same month, within mere weeks of each other. Stone Cold, Austin 316, and then the Hulkster. People can say whatever they want to about the Hulkster, but look, man, when you look at there's two guys that made me want to lift weights, and that's Arnold Schwarzenegger and that was Hulk Hogan. If you ever want to lift weights, those two guys probably influenced you to do that. I never forget the first, when you have Santa, when you are, and you in Head Start and kindergarten and stuff like that, you have these little Santa Claus. Secret Santas, and you open it up, gifts and stuff like that. You're exchanging gifts. And I never forget my teacher, Mrs. Madison. Yes, I remember when I was in pre-K. Sue me. But and shout out Sports PSP, by the way. Shout out to the lovely D as well. See you when you get back. Gotta say this. Remember when what the hell? Never forget that day, because I never forget I had the 2-pack action figures. I had Lex Luger and Hulk Hogan. I remember the 2-pack. And I never forget, I showed my teacher, Miss Madison, that. I said, Miss Madison, look what I got. She said, Lord. She was like, and she told Miss Strickland the same thing. She was like, look at what our student has. He got Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan. So, you can say whatever you want to. You can separate the character from the damn person, man. It's kind of like music. It's kind of like music. You can separate the character from the person, man. Shit. Hulk Hogan was that dude. Hell, when he was and even Stevie Ray and a lot of other guys, you can have bad moments in your life. And even Stevie Ray and Booker T spoke up for him and said a lot of stuff. And said if it wasn't for Hogan, they wouldn't have got a push. Stevie Ray, even back when the whole incident take place, you said Hogan was always in our damn locker room. He didn't even hang out with the other guys. If you get what I'm saying when I say the other guys, you get what I'm saying.
I'm not going to sit here and say that. I'm not going to sit here and say that all his actions were great too. But I'm very much a person that I look at your actions more than I do the words that come out of your mouth. And again, nobody in this world is perfect, and nobody in this world is so I he did some really good things in his life. He did some really bad things in his life, just like all of us do. Yeah. So, again, at the end of the day, we all got to get up and face our judgment. So that's beyond me. That's how I look at that.
I ain't no judge, and I ain't trying to be the judge.
I
don't want to meet him no time soon, to be honest with you.
Me neither. So I'm not ready to kind of circle back to Cody. I think if it's going to happen anytime soon, it's going to be next year. It depends on how this next feud with whatever he does, it plays out. If he kind of gains momentum again as a babyface, then I don't think it's going to be for a while that he turns heel. If he doesn't regain momentum as a babyface, then I think we're going to see a heel turn.
And I am forewarning people again. If you saw him in TNA, if you saw him in Ring of Honor, if you saw him in New Japan, y'all aren't ready for that side of Cody Rhodes yet.
No.
Oh, y'all are not. Y'all are not ready. Y'all are not ready. You saw little glimpses of it when he was a heel in WWE, but y'all, this version of Cody Rhodes, y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready. He's heel Cody Rhodes as the American Nightmare is a different beast. Y'all ain't ready.
No,
because I saw that. I got to see that, like Bullet Club and like the Ring of Honor and all. Oh, especially when he was in Bullet Club and them feuds he had with like Kenny Omega and all those boys.
Y'all kind of like.
Y'all ain't ready.
To Tristan's point, remember when John Cena turned heel, everybody was crying. Never forget that.
I don't think they're gonna. I don't think Cody's gonna make them cry. Cody's gonna scare them. I don't think they're ready. Cody's gonna scare them. I don't think they're ready because Cody is turned up to the nines as a heel. Like the stuff he's willing to say, like his promo. I think as good as his promo skills as a face, as a heel, he turns up. They're not ready.
No, he's on par with Punk. He can be at times. Like that's how
good. Like as a heels, just being edgy enough and willing to push that line. Oh yes.
Yep.
On that note, guys, Tristan, thank you for joining us. PSP, Leaf, all of you guys, thanks for joining us. Man. It's still daylight outside. That's not the norm for the Undisputed GOAT podcast. I'm just gonna be honest with you, because we'll sit here. Look, we'll sit here. We'll cook all night. We'll cook all night.
Normally we're probably getting ready to bed. And now, hey, we sitting here chilling. I'm still watching the Great American Bash. Every match is cooked so far. So, hey,
what channel is the Great American Bash on?
It's on the CW.
It's on the CW.
Yeah, it's on the CW. This is the first NXT PLE that they're televising.
Yeah. Tristan, maybe we need to get together for a collab on a wrestling show, brother. We'd love to have you. We'd love to have more wrestling knowledge throughout there, especially when you add these two guys. But we're glad we found you. I'll make sure we subscribe to you, and we'll get with you. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. And, hey, good fight, good night.